Have you ever said yes to something completely willingly, completely loving, and then realized about 6 months in that nobody told you what you actually signed up for? That's what it feels like for a lot of daughters when they become their parents' power of attorney. They thought it meant they'd make a few decisions if mom couldn't. What they didn't know was that it would also mean being called at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday because the bank won't let her transfer her own money without your signature. Or sitting in a hospital hallway being told you need to make a life or death medical decision right now. Or navigating a sibling who suddenly has an opinion about every single thing you do, even though they weren't there for the last 3 years. POA is one of the most misunderstood documents in senior care. And the gap between what people think it means and what it actually means, that gap can cause real harm to your parent, to your family relationships, and to you. So today, we're closing the gap. Welcome back to From Overwhelmed to Relief, the Senior Caregiving Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Calles, Senior Care Consultant, Advocate, Certified Dementia Practitioner, and someone who has walked this caregiving path both personally and professionally. This is the podcast where we break down senior care decisions, talk honestly about dementia and caregiving, and help adult daughters find relief while taking clear, loving action. Because you deserve to get your mom the care she deserves without losing yourself in the process. If you're juggling your own life, work, marriage, kids, while trying to care for a parent with a complex need, if you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and secretly wondering how much longer you can keep doing this, you're in the right place. This is where we speak truth with tenderness, accept the messy realities of caregiving, and remind you that choosing yourself and loving your parent isn't selfish. It's necessary. If you're the person in the family who said yes to POA, or if you're still trying to figure out what that document even means for your situation, this episode is for you. Meet Denise. I want to tell you about a woman I'll call Denise. Denise is 52. She's a full-time project manager, married, with 2 teenagers at home. Her mom, Carol, was diagnosed with early-stage dementia about 2 years ago and still lives alone in the house she owned for 30 years. When Carol's diagnosis came through, the family sat down and had the conversation. Who should be the POA? They looked around the table, and Denise, because she's the most organized, the most local, and the one who always handles things, said yes. Of course she said yes. She loves her mom. Her brother, who lives in Arizona, said, "That's great. Let us know if you need anything." That was 2 years ago. And in those 2 years, Denise has learned some things about power of attorney that no one warned her about. Things that left her frustrated, confused, and more than once crying in a hospital parking lot. If you see yourself in Denise, stay with me, because this episode is going to give you what she wishes somebody had given her on that day. Most families treat power of attorneys like a checkbox. You get it drawn up, you sign it, you file it somewhere, and everyone breathes a little easier. And in theory, that's exactly what it should be, a legal safety net, a way to make sure that if mom can no longer make decisions for herself, someone she trusts is authorized to step in. But here's the problem. The document itself doesn't come with a user manual. So it doesn't tell you when you need to use it, how to use it, or what your limits are. It doesn't prepare you for the emotional weight of using it. And it definitely doesn't prepare you for the moment when you realize that having a POA doesn't automatically mean people will listen to you. Let's go over some misconceptions that nobody warned you about. Misconception number 1. POA means you're in charge. This is the big one. Denise assumed that once she had POA, she was the decision maker. What she found out slowly, painfully, is that the POA authority is typically conditional. In most states, durable power of attorney for finances doesn't give you unlimited control while your parent is still legally competent. Your mom has rights. She can still make her own decisions, even if you think they're bad ones, even if they scare you. Unless she's legally declared incapacitated, she is the one in charge of her life. This was a hard reality for Denise. Carol was making some financial decisions that worried her. Giving money to the neighbor, not paying bills on time, showing up for things she didn't understand. Denise wanted to step in, but her mom was still legally competent, and Denise's hands were tied. Misconception number 2. One POA covers everything. There are 2 primary types of POA. They are not the same document. Financial or general power of attorney gives you authority over financial and legal matters, banking, bills, property, legal decisions. A healthcare power of attorney, sometimes called a healthcare proxy or medical POA, gives you authority over medical decisions when your loved one cannot make them for themselves. They are separate. You can have one without the other. And if one parent only signed one, you may find yourself legally unable to act in the other area when that time comes up. Denise had the financial POA. She did not have a formal healthcare POA. When Carol was hospitalized after a fall, the hospital's legal team told her that without a medical POA, they weren't obligated to honor her instructions. That was a terrifying moment that could have been avoided. Misconception number 3. POA is permanent. POA becomes void at death. The moment your parent passes away, your authority ends. And at that point, the estate plan, the will, the trust, that governs what happens next. If those documents aren't in order, you're looking at probate. Slow, expensive, and stressful. POA is also not automatically valid if it becomes outdated. If your parents signed the POA 15 years ago and laws have changed in your state, it may not be recognized by all the institutions. Banks are notoriously sticklers about this. Misconception 4. POA protects you from family conflict, if only. Denise's brother, the one in Arizona, the one who said, "Let me know if you need anything," became very vocal once Denise started making decisions that he didn't agree with. Having POA doesn't prevent family members from questioning you or second-guessing you or threatening legal action. What it does give you is legal authority. But authority and harmony are very 2 different things. This is why documentation matters. Every single decision you make as a POA should be documented. Conversations, medical recommendations, financial transactions, a paper trail. Paper trail, paper trail. Misconception 5. You can do this alone. You cannot, and you shouldn't have to. The legal, financial, and medical decisions that come with being a POA are enormous. You need an elder law attorney. You may need a financial advisor. You will likely need a senior care consultant who can help you navigate care options and make decisions with clarity instead of panic. Denise tried to handle everything on her own for 18 months before she reached out for help. 18 months of exhaustion, confusion, and carrying the weight that was never meant to be carried alone. Here's the reframe that I want you to hold on to. When you understand, power of attorney is not a title. It's a role. It's like any role. It comes with responsibilities, boundaries, and a need for support. When you understand it in that way, everything shifts. You stop asking, "Am I allowed to do this?" and start asking, "Am I fulfilling this role well?" The role of power of attorney and its heart is this: to act in your parents' best interest, using their values and wishes as your guide when they cannot act for themselves. Not your preferences, not your siblings' preferences, what your parents said they wanted when they still could say it. And when you hold on to that, when you can say, "I made this decision because it aligns with what mom told me she valued," you have something to stand on, even when it's hard, even when people push back. Denise eventually connected with an elder law attorney who reviewed her documents, helped her get a healthcare POA updated, and walked her through her actual legal authority. She created a simple binder with all of Carol's documents, insurance cards, medication list, and a written record of care decisions. I always say, if you don't have a binder with all your mom's wishes in it, get one. It will be a lifesaver. Trust me. She also had a direct conversation with her mom, one of the hardest and most important conversations of her life, about what Carol actually wanted, not what Denise thought she should want, what Carol wanted. And she stopped trying to do it alone. She reached out for help to understand Carol's care options and started planning ahead before the next crisis hit. Is everything perfect? No. Her brother still has opinions. Carol still has days where she pushes back. But Denise is no longer making decisions in the dark. She knows her role, she knows her limits, and she knows where to get help. And that's possible for you too. Practical action. What you need to have in order. Confirm you have both financial POA and healthcare POA. If one is missing, talk to an elder law attorney now before the crisis. Check the dates on your documents. If they are more than 5 to 7 years old, have them reviewed to ensure they still meet the state's legal standards. Make copies and share them. Your parent's primary care physician, the hospital, their bank, and any care facility should have copies on file. Understand when your authority activates. Know whether it's immediate or springing, which means only activates upon incapacity. Know what the standard is of proof and what is required. Start documenting every decision now. Running a log, date, situation, decision, who was consulted, protects you and ensures continuity of care. Talk to your parent while they still can tell you what they want. What does dignity mean to them? What are their fears? Write it down. Get support. An elder law attorney, a financial advisor familiar with elder care, and an independent senior care consultant can all be a part of your team. This week's challenge, the POA document audit. I want you to spend 30 minutes this week doing one thing, finding and reviewing your parents' legal documents. 1. Find it. Locate the POA document. If you can't find it, that's your first action item. Find out where it is or whether one exists at all. 2, read it. Yes, actually read it. Note the date it was signed, write the type of POA that it is, and when your authority activates. 3, identify the gap. Do you have both financial and healthcare POA? Is it current? Is it on file with your parents' care team and financial institutions? 4, take action. Based on what you find, identify one single next step. Schedule a call with an elder law attorney. Request an updated document. Drop a copy at your parents' doctor's office. Just one action. And share it on Instagram. Tag Clark County Senior Resources. Tell us the one thing you learned or discovered during your audit. This might be the reason another daughter finally does this too. This week's mantra, I don't have to have all the answers. I just have to know my role, ask for help, and keep showing up for her. If this episode felt like it was speaking directly to you, it was. You don't have to figure this out alone. And here's the truth. You're not supposed to. Caregiving is not a solo journey, and trying to handle everything yourself is exactly what leads to burnout, resentment, and regret. So let me help you. If you're in crisis, hospital discharge, decline, dementia, confusion, book an urgent consultation with me, Shannon at clarkcountysr.com, or just text me. If you need clarity, if you need someone to help you make a plan without pressure or guilt, reach out. I work for families, not corporations, and my loyalty always lies with you. I want to invite you into our community. It's called the Strong Daughters Club. It's a free Facebook community for adult daughters navigating exactly what Denise is navigating. The POA confusion, the sibling dynamics, the nobody told me it would be this hard moments. Come find your people. Join us at facebook.com/Strong Daughters Club. Subscribe and rate this episode. Your review helps other daughters find the relief that they need. Share this episode with another daughter who's holding the weight of POA alone. She's the one who always says, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Send this to her. Next week, we're going to be tackling another tough caregiving reality that no one talks enough about. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for being here. And until then, be gentle with yourself.